This full check of the Crop Progress Report with Steve White on KRVN is sponsored by Servitech.
Is silking. That's a real big jump from last week, which was at 27%. 10% of corn has reached the dough stage. That's just ahead of normal. Crop condition, though, really strong. 78% of Nebraska corn is rated good to excellent. It's hard to imagine just a couple of months ago how much drought we were worried about. Kansas corn, it's slightly ahead in terms of silking, 61%. 24% has reached the dough stage. It's also a pretty good looking crop, 64% good to excellent. Not quite as strong as Nebraska, though. Nationally, 56% of corn is silking, 14% has reached the dough stage, and 74% of the nation's corn crop is in good to excellent condition. So really good numbers across the country, and Nebraska even better than the national average. As for soybeans, Nebraska showed a strong gain, 61% blooming, up from 40% last week. Just 16% of the crop has set pods, which is about half the usual pace for this time of year. Still, soybean conditions are really good. 73% good to excellent in Nebraska. 64% rated good to excellent on the soybeans in Kansas. Across the U.S., 62% of soybeans are blooming. Soybean conditions nationally, 68% good to excellent. So there again, Nebraska is ahead of the national average on those crop conditions. Now, let's look at the moisture and some of the other crop conditions. Recent rains, we can tell, have made a noticeable difference across the region, and it is certainly showing up in the latest pasture range and soil moisture reports. Let's start with Nebraska. Pasture and range conditions are gradually improving, still a bit dry. Just 6% of pasture is rated very poor, 33% now in good to excellent condition. So that's up from last week, and that is just light years ahead of where we started things back in the spring. In Kansas, 57% of pasture is now rated good to excellent. That's a pretty strong number considering we're in mid-July, the dog days of summer here. Topsoil moisture in Nebraska shows 69% adequate to surplus, just 5% short. Subsoil is similar, 58% or better in adequate moisture. In Kansas, 72% of topsoil and 67% of subsoil rate adequate or surplus, thanks again in part to those widespread summer showers we've had over a number of weeks even now. Really interesting to think back as we were planting how dry and dusty it was out there at the time. The rains are also helping sorghum. In Nebraska, 74% of the crop is rated good to excellent. Kansas reports 65% good to excellent. And across the 6 major sorghum producing states, the national rating is 68% good to excellent. Meanwhile, the winter wheat harvest, it's mostly wrapped up. Nebraska still has a little ways to go, but Kansas is pretty much done. Across the country, topsoil moisture is holding steady. 74% of fields rated good to surplus. Pasture conditions are rated pretty good too. They're improving. 43% of grazing lands now rate good to excellent. That is up several percentage points from earlier, even just earlier in this month. So the heat continues. We will be paying attention to that, but these timely rains, gosh, they have certainly helped recharge the soil. It has brightened the sorghum outlook. It's been good for about everybody. Can't do much about the prices, but we'll take the improvement where we can get it. Those rains have been greening up pastures just in time for the heart of summer. And that is our in-depth look at the Crop Progress Report for July the 21st, 2025. I'm Steve White on KRVN.
Thank you much, Steve. This full check of the Crop Progress Report on KRVN, sponsored by Servitech. Servitech, the nation's largest independent crop consulting and agriculture company.